So as I've finished this book, I've decided, or I've come to believe that Winston himself is a bit of a hypocrite, and for my take on it, George Orwell in writing this is too. Um, I think when we look at earlier in the book when um, Winston joins, the Brotherhood, and he's basically, I'm willing to die for this. But then, as the rats are being lowered down onto him, he ironically enough rats, out Julia, just to try to save himself. Um, and it's a little bit hypocritical in that he says one thing, does the exact opposite, but Orwell does the exact same thing in my opinion because he is in our class we've made there have been claims made that he was a socialist, and while a lot of this stuff I believe is warnings against Nazism and fascism, a lot of the things in this book I track as a warning against socialism and communism as well, especially relative to the Soviet Union. um, in addition, I think that there is some form of memory or knowledge about the past within the party that has been held on to, or it is being withheld from other people. Going back to the torture scene with the rats, the page before, when they're talking about it, O'Brien states that the rats were a very common punishment in Imperial China. Um, we're in Oceania, there's Eurasia and East Asia. How do they know about Imperial China? Where does that come from? I feel like some things aren't exactly as they seem in this. That there is that knowledge there, and it's a great story. I think there's a lot of similarities between it and real life, but again, things are being hidden. I think from Winston and from the rest of the people, and I think that Orwell in that case almost wants us to know that.